Hello everyone, welcome back. So I did purchase some books through Bookoutlet, which is an online store. There's a Canadian site and a US site. For the past few days there's been issues with the website. I think they had some security issues or something like that. So it's been down for quite a few days, and they're trying to sort out the issue. But it's a great place to get some new books for a really reduced price. Right now I am hopefully finishing up in the next couple days Affinity by Sarah Waters, and I'm about 3/4, I guess, of the way through this, and it takes place in Victorian London in the 1870s, and it revolves around spiritualism, which was quite popular at that time. And this woman, they call her a lady because she's upper class, visits the women prisoners, and yeah, it's a slow read. It's very slow paced. It's starting to pick up now. There's just some inconsistencies going on with some of the character stories, so you know that eventually this is just going to erupt at the end. I have a feeling there's going to be a major twist at the end here. So it's a slow read, but I am very fascinated by history, so it's very atmospheric in that. So I will do a book review of the books I read in September. I have 6. This is the 7th book that I read since, I think, the end of August or so. So I will do a book review on this. And I have been making my own bookmarks. I do have a couple of videos on how I make them. So I did do this one, and I just love the fall colors. And then the other bookmarks I made is, this one's very Victorian. Be good for a history novel. And I do make these larger bookmarks too. Yeah, they're quite large. This one has the fall theme on it. And this one, I love cardinals, and I just love the paper on here. It just says, take some time. And live every day with intention, keep moving forward. So yeah, I just, these take like 5 minutes to zip up, and I just love making the bookmarks there. So anywho, so that's bookmarks and what I've been reading. So I did find this book. Where did I get this now? I can't remember where I got this one, but it's by Robert McManum, and it Speaks the Nightbird, and this is the complete 2-part novel in one, and it takes place in the Carolinas in 1699 about a witch hunt, and yeah, it's a big one. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with really big, long books. If it's a really good book, that's fine. Be as long as you want to be if it's a really good book, and I've heard rave reviews about this. But there's some books that they're good books, but yeah, sometimes they just don't need to be that long. But I did get the second book in this series, and it involves this Matthew Corbett is the main character. So I was able to get the second book on Bookoutlet. Now his books are really hard to find. I've been trying to find more books with this Matthew Corbett in it, and I checked Amazon. The prices are sky high. There's Thrift Books, which is an online US site, and they're all out of stock. So these are hard to get a hold of, so I'm glad I was able to get hold of this one. But this is called The Queen of Bedlam. And so this is the second book in the series. So it's just an unsolved murder of a respected doctor has sent ripples of fear through the city. And yeah, it's just the the strangest twist of all is the key to unmasking this serial killer is to go into an asylum where the Queen of Bedlam reigns, and only a man of Matthew's reason and empathy can unlock her secrets. So yeah, they sound like really, really good books. Now this is not quite as chunky. I think that other book, Speaks the Nightbird, is about 800 pages, and this is about 650 pages. And then the other one that I purchased previously from Bookoutlet was The Gilded Hour by Sarah Donati. So this is about two women who have graduated from medical school in New York City in 1883. So yeah, women as doctors were not respected. It was very difficult to become a doctor and get established. So this follows these two female doctors in the 1800s. And then one of my subscribers, thank you for all your great comments. You guys give me very good suggestions. And I didn't realize, but there's a sequel to The Gilded Hours, and this is Where the Light Enters. So this is a sequel to that book, following these two women doctors' stories. And then I did get The Last Bookshop in London, a novel of World War II by Madeline Martin. So I do like stories. If I just want a light, happy read, I will get a bookshop book that's centered around bookshops. A lot of them involve someone inheriting or already owning a bookshop. The bookshop's not doing well. They're considering just shutting it down. So that's kind of the main theme around a lot of bookshop stories. But this one actually takes place in 1939, and this young woman has always wanted to live in London, and she goes with her friend to live in London, but of course World War II breaks out, and she ends up working in this bookshop, and just what happens living in London during World War II. So, and then I did get, this is The Witchfinder's Sister by Beth Underdown. Now I have read a previous book that was sort of similar to this, where this woman, her uncle, was a witch hunter, and she was a healer like her aunt, and she believed in science. So she ended up being accused of being a witch by her own uncle and that sort of thing. So this woman, her husband dies, and she is forced to go back to her brother's home because there's no other way she can survive. And then she finds out that her brother is a witch hunter, and he's very cruel, and she knows that many of these women, or all of the women, are innocent, and just how she is trying to help them and also try to have a relationship with her brother. This is The Invisible Library by Genevieve Cogman. And yeah, this one kind of has an interesting premise to it. So Irene is a professional spy for the Mysterious Library, a shadowy organization that collects important works of fiction from all different realities. So there's all these alternative realities in, I believe it takes place in London. So her and her assistant have to go to this alternate London to retrieve a particularly dangerous book. By the time they get there, it is stolen. So all these different realities, all these factions are fighting and trying to retrieve this this booklet. So I thought that was kind of an interesting premise. And then this is Wicked Autumn by G.M. Mallet. And this is a Max Tudor mystery. This is the first Max Tudor mystery. I haven't read any of them, but I thought this would be a great fall read, Wicked Autumn. So this fellow is a vicar, but he was previously with M15, which is sort of the equivalent of the CIA in the States. So he has had a harrowing past serving in a counterintelligence agency, and so he wants to become a vicar, move to this small town, and kind of leave the past behind. But then there is a murder, and all of his M15 instincts kick in, and he has to solve this murder. So yeah, that sounds interesting. So I'll see how that one goes before I purchase any more. And then one of my someone who was watching one of my videos suggested Chris Whitaker, We Begin at the End. And so this takes place in a California town. He's a chief of police. He's always lived in this small town his entire life. He has to give testimony at one point that sends his best friend to prison. And this was decades previously. Now this person has been released from jail. So yeah, the summary in that sounds pretty good. And then this is The Chill by Scott Carson. And I thought this would be a great autumn read, kind of a spooky read for October. And this takes place in upstate New York, in the ancient forest. Earlier in the 20th century, they built a dam, and this small town was destroyed because they built this dam. And then years later, some spooky things are happening near this lake. And this is Call Upon the Water, a historical novel by Stella Tilliard. And this fellow comes to America from Amsterdam, and he is an engineer. Takes place in 1649. Oh, sorry, he arrives in Great Britain from the Netherlands. Sorry, to work on developing some marshy wetlands. He meets Eliza, and I guess falls in love, but she betrays him, and then he moves to America, and then she follows him. So yeah, it has gotten some pretty good reviews in that. So yeah, anything historical I'm all for. I bought this, it was just $2 on Bookoutlet. This is A Mother's Lie by Sarah Zettel. And Beth Fraser finally has her life together. She's built a successful career. She has a 15-year-old daughter, but she has quite a troubled past, and she's trying to leave it behind her. But one day, well, the daughter wonders why her mom's so paranoid in that. She's got backup phones, emergency drills, all this other stuff. And then a stranger approaches her daughter one day and says that she's her grandmother, and then things kind of go downhill from there. And this is The Griffiths by Emily Griffiths, The Stranger Diaries, Death Lies Behind the Woods. And I love the cover. That is a creepy cover. So this English teacher, her friend has been found murdered, and they have had a recent falling out. And beside the body is found a line from a book that was written by a Gothic writer that the protagonist teaches. And the unusual thing is very, very few people, only a small group of people have actually read the book, and the crime scene is actually in the book. So she is one of the suspects in her friend's murder. And then the last ones, I did get 3 of these books. This is a detective Josie Quinn thriller. So these are the small town kind of thrillers, murder mysteries, and Josie Quinn is the chief of police in this small town. And I read all the reviews on Goodreads, and this has gotten these books have gotten some very good reviews. So there's Vanishing Girl, The Girl with No Name, and Her Mother's Grave. So this first one, for example, a young girl in town goes missing, and the whole town is kind of searching for her. They can't find a trace of her, but the detective finds another girl they didn't even know was missing. So yeah, they all sound really, really good. So that's my book haul from Bookoutlet. And yeah, I just ordered some more books from Amazon. I actually ordered, what was it called now? Oh, The Phantom of the Opera. I thought that'd be a good read for October. So yeah, hopefully I'll do a video soon of the books I'd like to read in October. Kind of the spooky thrillers and horror stories and that sort of thing. And then at the end of the month, I have like 7 books that I'm going to review that I read the past month. So anywho, I think I'm losing my voice, so I better go. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.